You thought I'd break. You thought I'd crumble under the weight of your words, your betrayal, your lies. You thought I'd be the same person you left behind, weak, fragile, easy to discard. But you don't understand. You never did. You see, the thing about pain, the thing about betrayal, is that it doesn't always destroy you. Sometimes it creates something far more dangerous, something far more unstoppable. I'm not here to beg for your forgiveness. I'm not here to explain myself. I'm here to tell you the truth you'll never see coming. The silence you left me in, I used it. The loneliness you forced upon me, I thrived in it. The mockery, the laughter at my expense, I swallowed it and turned it into fire. They say revenge is for the weak, but revenge isn't what I sought. No, I went further. I went deeper. I transformed. You wanted a villain, huh? Congratulations, you built one. Every late night you thought I was broken, I was plotting. Every moment you underestimated me, I was sharpening my mind, my body, my soul. Every door you slammed in my face, I used it to build walls that aren't meant to keep me in. They're meant to keep the world out until I decide it's time. Pause for a second and think about that. The same hands you pushed down, the same heart you crushed, it's the same force that now rises above everything you ever threw at it. That same spirit you tried to bury, it's the one that will make you regret underestimating me. They never see it coming. People never see it coming because when someone's silent, when someone disappears, they assume weakness. They assume fear. But fear is theirs. Weakness, that's for those who never learn from pain. I learned, I adapted, I evolved, and now I'm unstoppable. You wanted me to stay small. You wanted me to stay in your shadow. You wanted to control me, define me, cage me. But monsters aren't tamed. Monsters aren't caged. Monsters don't apologize. Monsters rise. And I rose, quietly, slowly, methodically. Watching, learning, waiting for the perfect moment to remind the world of what happens when you push someone too far. And now, the world's about to see the consequences of underestimating the person they once thought was nothing. I remember every look, every smirk, every word they used to break me. I remember it because it became fuel. Fuel that burned hotter than anything else I've ever felt. And let me tell you something. Fuel like this doesn't burn out. It only grows stronger with time. You think fire consumes itself? No. It grows, it spreads, it leaves nothing but ashes in its path. And that's exactly what I've become. Ashes of the past, left behind. Shadows of betrayal, consumed. Doubts, erased. Every piece of you that tried to define me, now it's part of the strength you created. You wanted a villain. You wanted someone to fear. Well, congratulations. You are staring at it. Life tried to teach me lessons through pain, but I didn't just learn them, I mastered them. I turned fear into strategy. I turned doubt into action. I turned every no into fuel for every yes I would achieve. And in this process, I discovered something powerful. Pain isn't something you survive. Pain is something you weaponize. Pain is something you become. Pain is your evolution. Pause. Take a breath. Imagine the look on their faces when they realize that the person they left behind, the person they hurt, the person they tried to break, has become something they cannot stop, something they cannot control, something they never imagined possible. That's the power of transformation. That's the power you thought I'd never have. That's the monster you created. Every scar, every wound, every sleepless night, it's a medal, a testament, a warning. Because now, when I move, when I speak, when I act, the world feels it. The same people who laughed, who doubted, who dismissed me, now hesitate. They second-guess. They fear. They realize too late that they didn't just push someone around. They forged a weapon. You see, weakness teaches nothing. Silence teaches everything. Pain reveals the truth about who you really are. And betrayal doesn't destroy you. It awakens the part of you they never expected. The part of you they never saw. The part of you that thrives in the darkness while the world sleeps. And this is just the beginning of what they'll never forget. I moved in shadows while they celebrated my absence. I built my empire in silence while they underestimated every move. I trained my mind while they mocked my vision. I grew stronger while they laughed at what they thought was my weakness. And now, strength isn't just visible, it's unavoidable. It's in every step I take, every word I speak, every glance they get from me. It's a warning they'll never forget. You thought I was fragile. You thought I'd fold. You thought I'd disappear. But monsters don't fold. Monsters don't disappear. Monsters rise when least expected, and the rise is never quiet. It's deafening, it's unstoppable, and it's inevitable. Pain is universal, but not everyone turns it into power. Not everyone rises from it. Not everyone becomes the thing they once feared. I did. I became the shadow you wished never existed. I became the storm you never prepared for. I became the force that breaks every expectation, every assumption, every limitation. Pause. Let that sink in. Let it burn. Let it remind every listener, every doubter, every betrayer that the person they thought they broke became something they could never stop. And here's the truth they'll never understand. I didn't become a monster out of hate. I became a monster because I refused to remain weak. I became a monster because I refused to be invisible. I became a monster because pain demanded an answer, and that answer wasn't pleading, it wasn't surrendering, it wasn't begging, it was rising, it was dominating, it was conquering, it was me. So when you see me now, don't ask who I am. Don't wonder what I want. Don't imagine mercy. Just know I am the one you created, the one you underestimated, the one you can never stop. And that's the power of pain. That's the truth of betrayal. That's the force of transformation. You wanted a villain, a threat, someone you could never control? Well, congratulations, mission accomplished. I am that villain. I am that storm. I am that unstoppable force. And the beauty of it is, I'm not just a force of destruction. I'm a force of growth, a force of evolution, a force that reminds the world what happens when you take someone for granted. Pause. Let it resonate. Let it burn. Let it remind every listener, every doubter, every betrayer that the person they